Hey, are you feeling stuck, overwhelmed? Is everything feeling a little bit too much? If so, I want to talk to you this week. Hey, Eloise Ansell here. I'm an intuitive healer based in the UK. Hello. So, I want to talk about being a little bit overwhelmed. So, anytime you're feeling exhausted, tired, like everything's got a bit too much, you're feeling stuck, maybe you don't know how to move forward, you're feeling drained, or you've got that kind of mental fog, you can't work out what to do. Anytime you've got some of that going on, it's normally a sign that you've got something to clear. And when I say clear, it might not be yours that you need to clear stuff with. So we are like energetic sponges. To feel safe in life, we are constantly putting our intuitive antennae out into the world and picking up information from other people and other things around the world to get information on what is happening to keep us safe. We want to know. We want to know what's going on. So we're constantly picking up information from other people. So that might be picking up the depression of your neighbor, or it might be, the giggle of the little kid that walks past your house. Like sometimes we may be aware of things that are in our environment that we're picking up on, but you are picking up on thousands probably of people around the world, and you have no conscious awareness that you're doing it. It's just a natural background thing that we do to feel safe. So we're constantly picking up all this information. Now, when it gets fed back to you, it quite often feels like yours because you're aware of it. So we can be picking up a lot of stuff in the environment around us and taking it on. Now, if you add to that the pot of stuff that you came into this lifetime with, and then all the stuff from your ancestors and your parents and your family and what you're dealing with at this moment, and, there could be a lot going on. And so I call this like energetic baggage. It's not yours, it's got nothing to do with you a lot of the time, but you're carrying it around. And you hope one day that you might let go of some of it, but because you're not conscious of it being there, you haven't always consciously processed it, and so it kind of hangs around somewhere in the body because we're like an emotional filing cabinets. We store things away for that year that we have no stress when we can go through the backlog and clear it all. And of course, the year off never comes. So, what are we left with? We're left with all this emotional baggage. It's energetic baggage, and we need to clear it from our bodies. Now, you think about it for a moment. If you have a room and you put some stuff in it, yeah, it's fine. You can still walk around it. You can, get to the window. You can do your stuff. But if you keep putting more stuff in this room and this room gets more and more cluttered, yeah, it'll function for a while, but at some point it will stop functioning. It'll be like that room that you just dump stuff in and you never open the door because you can't. The room becomes completely useless and you don't use it for anything. You just keep opening the door, throwing stuff in, and then closing it. Now, imagine that is a part of your body. It's not going to be a great part of the body, and it's, not going to be ideal for any activities. So, if we keep storing this emotional clutter inside an area of the body, eventually it becomes overwhelmed and it's useless. So the energy stops flowing through that area. We can't get the chi, we can't get the flow, it stagnates, and that is a breeding ground for dis-ease or disease. And so anytime we've got this clutter going on, this emotional, energetic clutter, it's fine. We can cope with it for a while. The body can cope with a lot. But over time, as that pile builds up in various areas of your body, if not everywhere, as it keeps building up over time, it is going to become very tricky to navigate and get the flow and the energy moving through that body. It's amazing we stay alive for as long as we do with all of this clutter. So, what can we do to clear it out? Well, we can get energy work. That is the best way of emotionally. I call sometimes doing a session, I'm like energetically, emotionally decluttering the body. We're getting away and getting rid of some of that stuff that isn't even ours, so that we can actually get a bit more space in, get a bit more movement into the body. So this isn't about healing you. If you have a session with me, I'm asking your body. I'm like, hey, body, which room do we need to go to first? Which one do we need to declutter first? What are we getting out of that room? What's going to make the biggest difference to you today so that you can actually start to heal yourself? Because if we create some space and get rid of some of this energetic clutter, your body can start to heal itself. It's like, oh, okay, now you've opened the door and you've got rid of those things that were there in the front of the room. Hey, I've got space to get in there myself and I can start to declutter the rest of it. I'm using this room analogy, but you know. So as we clear out the body, as we declutter, the body has more space to breathe, the chi moves, the energy moves, we get the flow back, and then the body can heal itself. So getting some energy work could be cool, but you can do small little things yourself. Let's just take a moment now to have a moment to get rid of some of this. If you close your eyes for a moment and just put your hands on your body, and say hi to your body for a moment and just take a few deep breaths. And just become aware of your body for a moment and the movement of your body with your breath. You can just feel your body moving. And just ask your body, hey body, is there anything we can let go of in this moment? Is there anything that's not mine that we can declutter and release? Just take a couple of deep breaths. And you will probably feel a little bit lighter. Even if it's just a little bit, you've already shifted something. You can open your eyes now if you want. So we can just take a moment, you know, when we wake up in the morning, while the kettle's boiling, when we go to bed at night, just ask the body to release a little bit. It's just taking that moment to consciously ask. Now, if you want to really dive in deep, book a session. If not with me, with someone locally that does energy work. Of course, I work at a distance, so anyone can book a session with me. Now, I don't see my clients every week. Depending on who you see and how they work, I tend to only see my clients about once a month. And just every month, just clearing out some of the clutter. Imagine where you'd be at the end of a year if you've cleaned out all the clutter for a year. I mean, you'd be in a completely different place. So very quickly we can start to get some room moving in the body, and all this mental fog and tiredness and everything just disappears because you're not carrying around all this emotional baggage and energetic baggage that probably isn't even yours. So if you want to book a session, do. Some people just book a session like a couple of times a year or once a season just to help get some of this junk out of the body. So you're more than welcome to do that if you don't want to commit to having a session every month. And it really is a beautiful way of helping the body. It's like if you're using your desk, you keep putting piles of paper on the desk, and that paper just builds up and builds up and builds up. Eventually, you can't find anything and nothing works. That's basically how we work in the body. So we need to go through the paperwork, we need to clear it out so that the desk is usable again. It's the same in the body. So if you want to book a session with me, great. There'll be some information below. I will also put the links to some of my free sessions, so you can go and check those out if you want. That's a great starting point. We don't always have to do a lot to get the ball rolling, to get the body in a space where it starts to heal itself. If you've got a lot going on, yeah, we might have to do a little bit to get the ball rolling. But once it starts, it feels so much better. Anyway, if you've got any questions, put them in below. If you want to find out more about booking a session, please do. I have got a little bit of space at the moment if anyone wants to book. So kind of the end of March is looking a little, there's some space there. So if you want to book up for a session, please do. And yeah, let's get some of this emotional clutter gone from your lives and your bodies. Okay, have a great week. Take care. Bye.